Crossbowman! Greetings YouTube, welcome to 0AD Newbie Rush. I'm Jim Kogan. We are back again and we're back to 4v4, and after recent games we're hoping for a very satisfactory conclusion to this game. Once again, I don't know how it goes down or the result. I know how long the game is, but I don't know the result and I don't know how good a game it is. But I'm hopeful after a little bit of disappointment the last couple of weeks. I'm hoping this one's going to be a bit of a stormer. Let's have a look at the teams and who we've got in the north. Well, first of all, let's talk about the map. We're on a different map. We're on the gear map. I featured this once before in a free-for-all. We'll talk about the map in a bit more detail once we've had a look at everybody. But it's a fantastic map. As you can see, it's a roundish map. It's kind of like mainland with all these bits carved out, and everybody gets a segment. So we have Team 1 in the north, Team 2 in the south. And you can try and conquer this high ground in the center, or you can try and go direct to your enemies through this short channel through the middle. There's also fish in the channel, so I think we are going to see docks and all sorts of stuff in this game. But let's introduce you to the players. It's quite a lineup. Starting Team 1 in the north, in the red, it's Hercule, rating of 1488. Hercule, very good player. I don't know if this is a random draw because he's ended up with Athenians. Athenians perhaps not as bad as they were in previous iterations of 0AD, but I can't believe Hercule would have picked the Athenians, so I think this might be a random draw. So it's Hercule in the red on the first segment here for Team 1. In the pink or fuchsia, we have Havran playing as the Kushites. Now Havran, there was previously something known as the Curse of Havran, where Havran lost every time he was on the show, despite being an incredible player, rated 1735. Havran lost every single time. He was always on the losing side, apart from the last game where he turned it around and ended the Curse of Havran. We'll see how it is in this game. Moving along in the yellow, we have Caesar. Hail Caesar, playing as the Gauls, not the Romans. I have to remember that. So Caesar playing as the Gauls, rating of 1580. Another very good player. Seen Caesar a few times, always worth a watch. Let's have a look at the blue. We have the Iberians minus their walls. You'll notice there isn't room to put the walls in, so the Iberians' usual kind of defensive advantage is somewhat negated on this map. And playing as the Iberians, we have Hariko. No rating, but that means nothing at all, and you'll find out why in a bit, because we have another unrated player. It could just be a top player who's decided to create a new account because, you know, the weight of their reputation is weighing them down to become a target when you become a top player. Some players like the anonymity. So Hariko, I don't know if that's one of these players. Could be a complete newbie. They've gone straight in for docks. Look at that. So that's Caesar, who's put a dock straight down and is scouting with a fishing boat. Something we don't see very often on Newbie Rush because we're so often on mainland. Quite nice to have some water features here. So you may well see quite a few teams do just what Caesar has done there, and it looks like there is a dock underway for Hariko as well. Let's look at Team 2. Starting with Victulia, rating of 1441 in the purple, playing as the Seleucids and going to be facing off very closely with Hercule over here, who's put a dock straight away there. Only one person building it. Has Victulia already got a dock? Yeah, so docks going down everywhere. Just looking to see what's happening in the middle. Somebody scouting in the middle. We'll come to them in just a second, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. Nobody's killed anyone yet, although that scout has gone awful near. So yeah, purple scout over there. I think we're going to have some fighting here. It's the player in the purple who we haven't got to yet versus Hercule, and I think we could see our first casualty. It's Victulia's horse here. It's going to run straight into some infantry, and yeah, Hercule thinks better of it. So the first little skirmish, but no casualties. Let's move on through the rest of Team 2. overjumped there. In the light blue or cyan, playing as the Ptolemies. It's PTD 110, rating of 1358. Never seen them before, so don't know this player. We'll see how they do. Ptolemy's tidy team. Looks like it's already sort of ready to go to phase 2. That was very quick. We'll have a look at development in a second. We've been talking for 4 minutes 29. We need to get a move on and actually look at the wider picture. So yeah, as I said, PTD 110. Ptolemies, don't know anything about them. Looking forward to seeing how they do. And we have Catherine Hypermode, who the more astute of us will probably know this is Kate 0AD, aka Yekaterina. So no rating, sort of a rating of a little heart symbol. We know how good a player Yekaterina is, and this is Yekaterina basically, but we'll call her Catherine for the time being. Right, moving on finally to round out Team 2. Another player I don't know anything about, Belanzio, that's who it's going to be. Also playing as the Kushites. We have 3 Kushites in this, so maybe it wasn't a random draw. But Belanzio playing as the Kushites in the green, rating 1376. Know nothing about them. Interested to see how they do. So, the gear map. What is the way to go? Well, boats definitely are a thing. Fishing is very profitable. I think if you're in these quadrants up here, you're not likely to be attacked from the other side. So fishing is easy way to get loads of money. Now you're slightly limited unless you, your navy can't do much in these inner quadrants. I suppose if you're bordering. Yeah, if you're bordering an enemy like this, you definitely have a dock and towers and stuff, and you'd want to do your fighting. So you might see battleships in the quadrants between the 2 enemies here. So we have, interestingly, we can see the player in the green, Belanzio, has definitely gone for a dock. It's got loads of fishing boats. These can also be used for spying. And it's interesting that Haruko hasn't. He's kept this fairly open. I suppose these towers act as a natural defence. Got nobody garrisoned in them. But it will be interesting to see the different approaches. Who's winning at the moment? As we see, Hercule is the first to go to the town phase. Started the town phase. Isn't showing up in the... isn't showing up in the mod. Did he abandon it? Yeah, the mod is not showing the phasing up. That's quite strange. I thought it did. But we know Hercule is heading to phase 2. Maybe it's something quirky with this map. I'm not sure. But normally that was filling up completely. You can see he's definitely on his way. Nobody else going for it yet. Population-wise, it's Catherine and Havran who are leading by some distance, both in the 90s. And Hercule is now in phase 2, so that was 6 minutes 46, that's fast. What is he producing? Nobody's gone in for Cav in a big way. We've had some deaths, actually. Caesar's been killing people. He's been killing... Yeah, there's been a little raid on Belanzio. We missed that. Belanzio. Don't quite know where that was. I'm looking for corpses and not seeing them. I wonder if they just ran straight into... well, they got 3 kills, so... yeah, I wonder if some horses just ran straight into Belanzio's territory. It's a bit difficult to raid on this map at the start. Interesting, Belanzio has ignored the hunt down here. Nobody's really gone in for Cav. So I don't know whether that was woodcutters just getting a bit too close. It gets much more constrained as development happens, as you start to clear your own resources. All of the segments are quite generously populated with some hunt, with all the kind of resources you might need. A few have started mining early. Nobody else looking at phase 2 at the moment. 7 minutes 47 in. Let's see if we can see how many boats everybody's got. Do they show up in units? Yeah, 5 fishing boats for Caesar and quite a few others there. Yeah, you see different icons for the fishing boats. Somebody's got like a warship that is... Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's attacking. So... Hercule has gone straight in with the warship and is attacking land targets. It's got anything in it? It's got 4 soldiers in it. So this thing is pretty nasty. And immediately Victulia is having to respond by building a dock over here to fight this off, because this is 3 hits. It's shooting up, I don't know, what is it shooting at? Shooting at a tower, but more of a distraction, I think, rather than a major piece of military hardware at this stage. It's coming into play now. I think it's going to hassle these workers on the dock. So the fishermen saw it, and the warship's coming across now to try and hassle it. Will it be able to stop the dock? The dock is almost up. We're seeing casualties already. That's pretty lethal. That has stopped. The dock is up, but at some loss. Yeah, 15 losses for Victulia. And we can also see that Hariko has started the... Hariko started phase 2. Quite a few other players have jumped to phase 2. We didn't get all the notifications, strangely enough. Victulia has reached phase 2. Havran has reached phase 2. Hercule already there, Hariko about to go. So we've got 2 and a bit players in Team 1 almost at phase 2. We're seeing an excursion. Look at this. Caesar has decided to put some roots down in the middle. I think he's the only one who's gone for it there. So looking to steal a march. Still in phase 1, interestingly, though. As we see PTD has started phase 2, as has Catherine. This is quite a dangerous place to put your settlement, isn't it? There's only 4 infantry guys building it here. They're going to be at the mercy. Well, I suppose they're going to be protected a little bit by Hariko's forces as more reinforcements come down. This looks like an aggressive act toward Belanzio. Very interesting indeed. Nobody else making a play for the middle. And look at this. We have warships. So, oh, there goes one of them. Yeah, Victulia has decided a naval battle here. A bit of revenge for those losses. Started to get some kills as well on the end. So Victulia has got 11 kills and growing. So, and he's basically sunk. Entirely sunk the... Oh, and there's troops on there as well. Are they going to try and get off and go for capture? I don't know if there's enough troops there. Yeah, they've disembarked. They're going for a capture of Hercule's dock there. And they're over halfway there. Is Hercule going to do anything about this? Seemingly not wanting to get embroiled in this kind of drama. But that dock is changing hands, isn't it?
Yeah, see?
What have they done? Have they destroyed it? I think they might have done. Yeah. So litter bodies there. Yeah, it looks like it didn't entirely destroy, but it looks like Hercule decided that dock was not going to change hands. No, it has changed hands, has it? I can't click on it, and I'm clicking on the boat because the collision detection's out. So that dock is destroyed. Hercule has sacrificed that. Is that a mistake? Has he been caught out by his own tactic? He produced the warship early. We're seeing another expansion here. This is Havran, who's put a dock in this outer ring of water. So this is interesting. This gives you a narrow waterway. It can be crossed anywhere, but you can also get boats around it. And we have an expansion into the island itself. This is PTD 110. So the question is, who knows about where everyone else is? If we look at what PTD knows, whoops, wrong one. PTD has not seen any of the other expansions. Have they seen him? If we look at Caesar, Caesar doesn't know what's there, and neither does Havran. So none of them know their enemies are right next to each other, and this is Storehouse going up. I believe Havran will know about this very soon, so this is going to be a major flashpoint. Caesar's also establishing himself. It's going for mining over here. And what are we seeing here? We're seeing an attack from Belanzio. It's going to be one of those games where we're just looking everywhere for it. 11 archers on that boat, so that boat is pretty lethal, and it's going to start picking off Hariko from distance. And Hariko has not put a dock down on this side, has he? He's got one here, but it's somewhat unprotected at this point. He's hastily making a fire ship. Fire ships are a good laugh, so... we'll see how that does, but more big ships coming out here. So we're seeing Belanzio's tactic quite clearly. And this raid on Hercule still going on. There's a bit of a... what would you call it? It's kind of an occupation. You know, there are more ships rolling up. So, oh, and there's probably going to be... there's no troops in those. But it's raiding parties. They're just going into Hercule's territory, smashing some stuff up, and retreating. We've not seen much of Catherine, it has to be said. Everybody now in phase 2. Havran's made it to phase 3. Caesar and Catherine on their way to phase 3. And the Boongui mod seems to be working properly now. Don't know why it didn't show us the first phasing up, but... yeah, Hercule is going to the city phase as well. It's going to get there before Victulia. And that may be significant, although slightly under pressure from this this sort of convoy of ships here that are causing problems. As Catherine has reached phase 3, this could be the point when she becomes dangerous. And this situation in the middle, look at the size of the expansion and the damage. The dock of Havran has been knocked over. There is a siege workshop there, but the dock is gone, and this huge expansion went up from PTD 110. Certainly the most aggressive player so far. Still doesn't know that there is a settlement over here, but he will shortly because the infantry appear to be mobilizing. Are they going in for an attack? What are they doing? Are they just mining from the other side? So they're mining. So it's a full CC that's over there. Interesting. Caesar sending more forces through. It's dribs and drabs. And who isn't in... oh, rams. We see rams. Where are they going? So these are rams of Havran. And they are looking to smash up this attempt at building a dock by Victulia. Strange place to put it. That was never going to last. Now, can the rams... get over to Victulia's territory? It's blocked by trees at the moment. They haven't deforested, so this is quite a natural barrier. So this may work to Victulia's advantage, possibly. Ram's not very good against trees, but a huge army from Havran now. Where are they going? Are they going central? Yeah, this is an attack on PTD 110. Is he going to get any support? He's surrounded on this side by this big expansion by Caesar, but Catherine is coming in. Catherine is here building a fortress in this strategically important area as the battle starts in the middle. The rams come in. Havran's committed his forces, and PTD 110 still in the positive in the killing stakes, but it's not going to be an easy fight. Support coming in a little bit from Catherine as we get a bit of lag on the game. Always to be expected when you get the populations up over 150. Everybody in phase 3 apart from PTD and Victulia, who are just going that way now. Still seeing that occupation by Victulia, but it's not really having much effect. Havran is definitely making inroads, although he's still massively in deficit in terms of losses. It's been a good fight from PTD. 50 kills now for the loss of 29, but what material damage and what losses. And in comes Catherine to reinforce things. I think Havran is going to run out of steam with this attack. Havran is definitely coming off worse, although he is destroying this infrastructure. We're not seeing any calls for help to Caesar just yet. So I think Havran thinks he's got this. They withdraw. They've lost quite a few buildings here, PTD, but Catherine comes to the rescue. Is she going to press on and try and hurt Havran here? They're making a sort of a defensive line bottom of a hill. You always want the higher ground. In the meantime, the expansion, the secret expansion of Caesar carries on. There's a fortress going up right there. So the island already divided in two. Catherine will be aware of this as she cycles back now and starts trying to kill these guys. So almost sneaked in behind them. Now would be a good time for Havran to counter again while the army's going the other way. Caesar is now the person under the bit of pressure. They're having to, trapped from both sides. I think Caesar's going to have to abandon this. So PTD and Catherine have fought Caesar off as well. I think Caesar may have to withdraw possibly to the fortress. It goes again, renumbers, and they're destroying what was going to be a fortress on this side. There it goes. Havran is massing his forces over here. He's got a dock again, and is controlling this area. 3 more rams come in, and it's a question of pulling this army from one place to another. Not seeing anything else from Victulia. What is Victulia doing? Has he got armies entrenched here? Where are they all? Still collecting resources. Is he loading up boats? He's loading up boats. Boats over here as a defensive measure. PTD sending more troops in. The rams, where are they? Where did they go? They're still there. So they haven't been sent in yet. At the moment, it's more reinforcement of this side. So we've got rams over here too, belonging to Caesar. And elephant hero. So I think PTD and Catherine are planning a bit of teamwork here. A bit disappointed with Belanti. I don't know if he's supplying resources. He's got ships that are full. There is 1 medium warship half shot up, and I think we're finally seeing a bit of movement here. No, we're not. We're seeing reinforcements, and we're seeing the big attack. So suddenly, yeah, PCD with the hero elephant and Catherine following up with the cavalry. I don't fancy Caesar's chances here. They look massively outnumbered. But the rams come in from the north as well, so it's a counter thing. And Hercule is sending rams in, so this does not look good for PTD's expansion here. Fighting on multiple fronts. Catherine has decided she's taking Caesar on here with, it's all her troops. Getting a bit of input also from Harrico. It's a bit of an epic battle so far. Still not seeing anything from Belanzio. Not seen much from Victulia either. I'm waiting for them to really put the hammer down, but it's all happening in the middle, and it's all happening to PTD 110, who's getting a bit plastered over here. And we're now seeing, Catherine's going to have to withdraw from this fight as well. In terms of the killing stakes, top killer so far, PTD 110 has been lethal, but taken the most losses as well. And I think it's now going a bit badly. I think the weight of numbers has forced them back. So the battle has turned a little, and they're going to close in and wipe PTD out here. PTD's population down to 125. Caesar's population, though, just crept below 100 for a second there, so he's coming off worse here. But the momentum at the moment is with Team 1. They are controlling this island. I think Hercule is giving pursuit. They're just making sure that everybody's cleared out. And look at this. There's a bit of a major withdrawal having to happen here. They're right on the banks. It's Havran, Hercule, and Caesar have been driving this attack with a little bit of support from Harrico. So good teamwork from all 4 players on Team 1. And the attack continues. They're going for Victulia, I think. Are they? No, they're heading south. And now they're thinking better of that. So they're going to consolidate. Can they get a Victulia? I don't think so. they have to brave this ship here, which isn't fully laden, but Victulia has sight on this. They attack the ship, but they can from the looks of it, yeah. So he needs to pull that ship back just out of range because the ram can kill that ship and will do. They've gone in on PTD 110, who was a bit weakened after the loss of his expansion. Over this side, Catherine is fighting a bit of a defensive battle here. We're seeing pitch battle still on the island, but it's Havran who's gone for the big push into PTD's territory. It's quite a good defensive structure that he's built. Is Victulia going to come to his aid? Victulia doesn't seem to be wanting to get involved too much. Surprising. He's seeing his teammate getting a bit of a stuffing over here, but doesn't appear to be willing to commit the troops. He is down on population, so I'm not quite sure what's happened there. Hasn't really been that involved in the combat, so I don't quite know why his population seems to be capped at 146. But there you go. We're seeing more reinforcements from Caesar being sent in, and are we still seeing attacks? Yeah, still seeing attacks from Catherine. She's playing a good sort of rearguard action here. Over this side, PTD is holding off quite well. He is now massively in deficit in terms of the kill-death ratio. So it's down to a population of 98. Is in a bit of trouble. 145 kills, still impressive. Catherine's got 251 kills, so a 1.9 kill-death ratio. So a very effective killing machine, but Havran has the momentum here, pushing into PTD's territory. And they're almost at CC, although I think they've lost the rams, so don't know how far they're going to be able to get. What upgrades have they got? So Havran's troops, not massively upgraded, although they have got the class 3 arrows. Havran has got a ram somewhere, but I'm not quite sure where it is. There it is, it's coming down now. So if you click on these icons in the Boon GUI mod, it will tell you where these units are. Yeah, this is quite clever. I hadn't realised that. So I could actually find out where that ram has got to. It's now pootling along down here and will be starting to maybe take down these buildings. It's they go for the capture of a barracks, and I think they've got it. So officially PTD is in a bit of trouble here, so I think that ram might get destroyed before it does any damage. Although the fortress is almost half destroyed. Here come the reinforcements. The ram is almost halfway destroyed as well, but I think we're going to see that fortress going down or being captured. Let's see. PTD's taking losses the whole time. I'm looking for where the combat is happening elsewhere. It looks like Catherine's committed an enormous army over here. Victulia sends another ship to support. And somehow that fortress is, or it was still standing, it's gone now. So more rams coming in, but look at this, huge fight going on here. So Catherine, the killing machine, is trying to stop this army of Hercule at source. So they're up there, but they're getting hemmed in by all these cav units. What type of cav units are they? Naturally, they're ranged cavalry. Is it a mix of cav? Yeah, there's all kinds of cav in there. So we've got light cavalry, heavy cavalry, noble cavalry. And looks like a few not so noble cavalry that are doing some real dirty work in there. So single-handedly, they've had to force Hercule to rethink and not lose all of his rams. So that may have thrown a bit of a spanner in the works. The rams are in. There's still a small army here of
Yes, Steve.
of Havran. They've gone quite well. They're the heavily upgraded archers. PTD is down to a population of 90. Can't do anything to stop the rams, and he's not getting any help from Victulia, really. Victulia seems to be happy to commit boats, but Victulia's army has actually gone down, so it's I don't understand this at all. Victulia just doesn't seem to be able to produce. So maybe a little out of their depth, possibly. They've got so many buildings that could produce new units, and they're producing from none of them. Looking for where their barracks are. Interesting. They're hastily building a fortress, but Victulia needs numbers, not buildings. Interesting. PTD appears to have just about seen off Havrin there with a little bit of help from Victulia, but not very much. There is a war elephant there, but it's going to need a bit more than that because the next wave of attack will surely come. But interestingly, Catherine has held the island with nothing more than, well, I say nothing more, it's 91 cav units, so yeah, they've not been able to effectively counter her. We've seen absolutely nothing from Belanzio either, really. Is there a war effort waiting to happen? Belanzio has been involved, so has got 128 kills, but they've done it on the quiet. Who have they done it against? I'm not sure. Is this a major attack happening now? So they're all loaded. There is an elephant in there. I think this could be an attack. I'm hearing lots and lots of death over here as Catherine further increases that kill-death ratio. 464, 8 kills now. 2.7 kill-death ratio. When you're killing that many of the opposition, it's going to be difficult to stop, I think, unless somebody matches her for champion cavalry or something. Very interesting, and now starting to hassle in other places. The island is still the reserve of Caesar, although he's got no forces there. Has got a siege workshop. I think they're going to try and capture that now. Caesar looks like a bit of a spent force at this point. Population 105, licking his wounds a bit. Havran, population of 161 is rebuilding. You know Havran will come back. Hercule, population of 193, bit of a sleeping giant at the moment. Not sure what their plans are. Looking at team 2 though, we've got yeah, Belanzi is doing this kind of guerrilla warfare, just sending an elephant out onto the land and protecting it with the ships, taking out these key structural buildings. So that's a barracks. I think he probably could have got away with that. So it's not massively effective at this point. These are tough Iberian buildings, so he's going to take a bit more firepower and elephant power to knock them over. In the middle of the park, we are still seeing Catherine causing issues for anybody who has the misfortune of wandering past her at the moment, so it's quite a force. That said, Havran has decided to go for it again in the middle. He's got groups of people collecting. Are people starting to run out of resources now? There's 15k of food for Catherine. Anybody needs food, though, she'll be sending it, won't she? Look at that. And 525 kills. Far and away the most lethal player. PTD licking his wounds a little bit now, but having to rebuild again. Population back up to 162. Team 1, with the exception of Caesar, it's they're looking pretty strong. Caesar is rebuilding. Team 2 look pretty strong as well. I still don't know which way this is going. We are 27 minutes and 30 in. I think there's going to be another big ass battle here. So Hercule has committed rams and has got lots of cav. And where is Catherine now? Catherine has still 82 cav units of her own. They are withdrawn from there. So this is Hercule's counter to Catherine's cavalry. Where will they go? Will they actually run into each other? It's got an elephant with it as well. I think she might be going after Caesar. Fighting, yeah, preventing the expansion from Caesar there. But in the meantime, is it Victulia they're going after? It is... I don't know. I don't know if they've identified Victulia as an easy win. It is Victulia they're going after. And they're trashing the navy here. Trying to get through the trees. They're a little bit boxed in. It's a mix of Cav from Hercule and Havran, and this looks pretty nasty. Are they going to summon Catherine for assistance? We know PTD is sending infantry in. Tulia's population still hasn't got above 150, and now I think with all that navy that they had, I don't think they're going to be effective. It's calling other ships back. Population down to 125. It looks like Catherine is just busy harassing and harrying both Harrico and Caesar. Caesar has decided to wall himself in. So Caesar down to a population of 90. Every time he tries to expand and get involved, keeps getting spanked by Catherine at the moment. So it's not good. We're still not seeing any major aggressive acts from Belanzia. I'm a bit disappointed. I thought they'd have gone for a full-on attack there. But it's all about the staging and preparation, this map. And things appear to be going reasonably well here for Havran and Hercule. We're seeing Victulia has managed to sort of hold their own a bit defensively, although they're at the CC now and the Rams are there, and I don't think there's anything that's going to be able to protect it. There is a war elephant, but that war elephant, there goes the CC, so Victulia is the first person to lose their home CC in an attack. And there goes the elephant. That was a bit of an ignominious death. We're seeing an execution in the middle. Victulia, I think, has crumbled. And finally, we see the battle we wanted to see. This is Catherine and her cavalry against... This is going to be absolutely diabolical. Look at this. It's the bodies are going to be hitting the floor right, left and centre. There are some elephants in there as well. So... that's crazy. We're not seeing much. That is Havran's Athenian hoplites as well, isn't it? Is it? Or no, that is Hercule's army. So it's a mix. It's a mix. There's a bit of... oh, they forced them back. So finally, Catherine has come off worse in a fight. Still 2.3 kill-death ratio. But sheer weight of numbers forced Catherine back down to 47 cav. And... this don't look good for Team 2 at the moment. Victulia down to population 71 can rebuild from this. It's not a total destruction. Who are they going for next? Are they going to push right the way down to PTD? Looks like they are. PTD has recovered somewhat, although population's still down at 117. Catherine comes back, but... is being harassed and harried by Hercule's troops. Reinforcements have arrived. Catherine is near pot max. What are we seeing here? Over the other side, we're finally seeing the aggressive move from Belanzia. There goes Harrico's CC. So we push the button on it and press forward. Getting some support now from Caesar. But good work there eventually from Belanzio has decided to knock over Harrico. So will they be able to hold it? But of course the main battle again happening in the middle. So reinforced troops of Catherine versus this now somewhat war-weary army of Havran and whatever's left of Hercule in there. Quite a bit from the looks of it. And what we got down here? And there's a meat in the sandwich type thing. So we have, we have PCD sending infantry forward on this side. We have Catherine pulling back with a hero elephant here to mount a charge back up the hill. And in the middle of it all, we have Hercule and Havran trying to pool their resources and forces. So look at the sheer number of corpses on the island. It's a bloody sight, isn't it? It's a bit of an attritional nightmare there. I think PTD should change his name to PTSD, I think, after this. And it's a dangerous army that are occupying the middle of that. They have got siege capabilities, and they are capable of taking out either of these players individually with the numbers they have at the moment. But more reinforcements. We're seeing Haruko and Caesar looking to pool their resources, maybe to hit back. Maybe to hit back at Belanzio. Belanzio has not really capitalised on the territory. Is he now putting forces... So he's got Pop Max, so could raise quite a big army and turn this around. He's also making some siege. But the big fight is happening in the middle, and we're seeing Haruko has committed troops to support the effort. He's thrown whatever he's got into this. Catherine is involved, as she always is. There is a hero elephant. We're also seeing Havran. We're also seeing Hercule. And it's who's left standing at the end of this. It's hard to tell at the moment. 700 kills exactly at the moment from Catherine. A 2-to-1 kill death ratio, so that ratio has fallen somewhat. It looks like Catherine's having to pull back a little. Haruko has been more or less wiped out in the middle there, although it has got... Oh, no, tell a lie. Yes. That big blue cloud is them, so yeah. It's now an even bigger Team 1 army occupying the middle there. Caesar's coming round with an attack of his own. I don't think this looks good for Team 2. Danzio's still ripping up Haruko's territory, but it's now all about what's going on in the middle. Who are they going after next? Are they going to finish off... I'd be surprised if they go and finish off Victulia. Victulia is doing nothing at the moment. It's PTD and Catherine are the ones who want to weaken. PTD population of 122, Catherine 171. They do seem committed to finishing off Victulia. Maybe they want the territory to stage attacks on the side. Where is Catherine at the moment? Catherine very much repooling forces. There is a small contingent of infantry of PTD there. They must know an attack is coming. Are they looking to do a counter? What strategy would you put in place? Can you... are they having to protect from this attack from Caesar? Caesar's down here. Is this a distraction? Is this a ruse? Are they being distracted while... Well, no, they're not. It looks like they're distracting them while Havran and Haruko and Hercule absolutely hand... Victulia's asked to him on a plate. There it is. So Victulia, I think, is pretty much finished as a fighting force. The rams come in, the strategic buildings are coming down, and the population is falling. And there's nobody coming to help this time. He's on his own. I don't think PTD is going to get involved because PTD needs to protect himself. My estimate would be probably capture this dock and go by sea across to take over PTD's territory. So the slaughter now begins. Victulia is going to resign, isn't he, shortly? That could herald the end of the game. So Catherine has seen Caesar off. And they're regrouping. PTD knows there's danger. Looks like Catherine does as well. I know Catherine's happy to hold fire there. The Rams are coming back now. They've pretty much smashed Victulia up. There's still a warship giving them hassle, but I don't think they're going to be too bothered about that. Where's the big-ass army going next? It's going towards PTD. Catherine comes in to support, as always. And we have another bloody battle. It's about the 4th or 5th of this match. I would say the momentum is purely with Team 1 at the moment. It would be quite a turnaround if Team 2 managed to rescue this, but PTD and Catherine, as good as they've been, Victulia and Belanzio have not really been at their level in this game. Belanzio's still dangerous, but it's only a small army and they're going after easy and soft targets. They're not getting involved in the business end of the combat. This is the business end of the combat. So the Rams are being pulled back to safety and it's just like a meat factory there. They're just throwing the units in. The game lags to an almost crawl and all you can do is look at the numbers and see how they change to see who's winning this. Catherine's still population of 190. That kill-death ratio still hovering above 2. 805, 6 kills. It's impossible to say. It's an absolute lag fest now. There's just going to be a pile of bodies right here. Good grief. But has Catherine got the upper hand? I think Catherine may have actually routed the army a little bit here, but reinforcements coming in from behind. Catherine is down to still got 73 cav units. It's killed 846 and sending more reinforcements in. The ability to reinforce is phenomenal. To reinforce with sufficient numbers is absolutely amazing, but population wise it's got more than Havran. It's got more than Hercule still, despite fighting quite defensively here. PTD is going to get involved again some more as well. Population of 135 and falling, so I think PTD is the next most vulnerable player, but Catherine's ability to resist attacks is unbelievable. The Rams are still here. There are still forces of Havran there. So the next phase go in. They run straight past Catherine. Are they going after PTD? What's Catherine going to do? She's going to divide her forces. She's committed to this fight with Hercule. And Catherine's sending funds to Victulia, so Victulia isn't out of this then, despite having a population of 9. Are they trying to rebuild somewhere? I think that's a lost cause. It's not as if actually Catherine's got over 16,000 in food, so she could send it to whoever she wants, but Catherine's not getting this her own way. Still got the kill death ratio of 2. Population or kill death ratio of over 900. It's going to hit 1,000 by the end of the game. With 36 minutes in, it just keeps producing. Just keeps producing constantly from those stables. It's remarkable. If we look at the production queue as to who's producing what. And yeah, there it is. Catherine's just producing 14 at a time. There is a lot of military production going on. We're not seeing resignations yet. And the bloodthirsty battle just carries on. I'm still saying Team 1, I think, have got the edge on this. I'm looking at the other side of the map briefly as well, as the Rams go rolling past, and they're going to now go in on PTD. So that could possibly change the complexion of the game. There is 6 of them. They will be followed by soldiers. Catherine's had to pull back a little in this confrontation with Havran. And this has allowed the heavy hardware to go through, and it's being supported by Hercule's cav as well. And it's This looks bad for PTD. There are elephants, there is defense. I've been really impressed with PTD in this game. But Catherine has seen off another lot of Cav, but she's down to 57. That's the lowest Cav has been for quite a while. And I don't think she's reinforcing with the same vigour that she was able to previously. What we're seeing over this side. So it looks like Belanzio has seen off another sort of assault from Caesar. These two having a bit of a private battle. It's the battle for lesser honours, I'm afraid. This is where the hardware is going in, and there goes PTD's fortress. It falls this time. There are still some rams left. The elephant has gone. Catherine is trying to get involved, so they're fighting with Catherine whilst the rams are being basically there to press straight through. They've got a little bit of protection. I don't think there's anything that can stop them. Catherine down to 38 cav units. There is still a process of reinforcement, but it's slowed to a bit more of a trickle. Caesar is sending wood to Havran to reinforce. It's a ridiculous amount of stuff that's been sent to Havran. Hope that clears off the screen because it's not giving us much real estate to actually see the battle. So that should clear fairly soon. The rams are now closing in on the vital buildings of PTD. Catherine now fighting on the edge of this particular quadrant. Still causing oh, look at that. So we have a slight issue with the size of the columns in the Boongui mod there. So that is 1017. They need to extend that column by one more character. That'll be one for Langbart to look at. And the Rams close in on PTD's CC down to a population of 84. We are 39 minutes in. I think Team 2 are going to have to concede this. Caesar's still sending food to Havran. Totally tying up our viewpoint of this. There goes PTD's CC. So they've knocked over Victulia, they've knocked over PTD. PTD still a bit of a fighting force. It's got 50 troops, but the game is looking lost at this point for Team 2 unless Catherine can produce something pretty revolutionary. It's doing the same thing, still producing all of these horses. But what it needed really is what Team 1 did. The two biggest players produced big central infantries and cavalries pulled together. Catherine didn't really have that. She had that to a small degree from PTD. Did not get the support from Victulia and Belanzio. I just don't quite know what they were about, and it looks like Belanzio is now finally going to be the target. And Catherine can't be everywhere at the moment, tied up with a fight here with Hercule, and it's Havran who's turned his sights to the green team, and they are now going to start kicking Belanzio's ass from the look of it. Belanzio gets weakened, so PTD down to a population of 17, Victulia down to a population of 8. Belanzio down to, we have a resignation. PTD 110 has resigned. So, saw the writing on the wall. I think further resignations and that'll be it. Catherine still has got huge number of calves, got it back up to 76. Belanzio's getting smashed up entirely, and all of that work that they spent so long doing is going to be undone in a matter of minutes. It looks like Catherine's just trying to exact some revenge, get rid of the rams and kill the last of Harrico's troops. Oh, Palladio resigned straight away, so Catherine's been left high and dry, and she will be the number one target now. Everybody is going to focus on slaughtering her because she is the common enemy. There's only, well, there's Victulia there who has no troops, so Catherine has to chuck this in, surely. It's going to be a valiant fight to the death from the looks of it, but ultimately it's a numbers game, and for all of that killing, when it came down to it, the teammates just were not there, as here comes Havran's army, and here comes Hercule's army, and Catherine's going to be right in the middle. So it's there's very much a sort of a doomed last stand look to this as the two armies come in with 41 minutes 42 seconds, and Havran and Hercule, who've driven this Team 1 attack across the island and into the segments, supported, once he did lose his base, supported quite well by Haruka, made up the numbers and made sure he provided just that little bit of numerical advantage. Catherine fought like an absolute crazy person, it has to be said, and a major killing machine, but ran out of teammates, and I think the end could be near. We're hearing horse equine deaths right, left and centre, and Catherine has resigned. So that is very much the end. Let's there we go, that's the end of the game. So what a game. There was a lot happened in that. This map, and when you get this many teams, especially with the water features and everything, you're going to get a bit of lag. I hope that did not ruin the viewing too much. You could sort of see who was doing what. We're just waiting for the summary to come up. 0AD recovers a little bit. So a victory for Team 1, 70,242 plays 68,314. Worth noting that Catherine top scored and almost got 30,000 of those, so almost half of the points that Team 2 got. Some slightly disappointing performances there. And what can you say about that game? Havran, Hercule definitely proved themselves to be strong. Haruko lost his CC and was almost taken out, but provided some numbers. Caesar was influential early on, but never really seemed to get into that game. Got kicked off the island quite early by Catherine and never quite came back. Certainly wasn't influential towards the end. Let's have a look at the charts. Well, let's have a look at the kill-death ratio first of all. It's blatantly going to be Catherine there who got that with a 1.73. It was as high as 2.7 at one point. On team, interestingly, Team 1, 3 of the players ended up with a positive kill-death ratio. Haruko ended up as their top, on average, the top killer, 1.2 kill-death ratio, despite taking some pretty heavy losses. We have a look. Yeah, so lost 340, but ended up killing 408. And it was very attritional for Hercule and Havram. Belanzio and Victulia, I was a bit disappointed with both, especially Victulia. I thought Victulia stole a bit of a march by getting those ships out, but never at any point looked like committing a large army to a serious bit of combat. And Belanzio picked a weak side to attack, went in and beat Haruko. And that's just, well, it was like poking the bear again. That seemed to spring whatever troops Haruko had left to join the main battle in the middle. And ended up with the highest kill-death ratio on his team. So it goes that way sometimes. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Now, picking most valuable player, I mean, of both sides, Catherine's effort there to single-handedly hold that island with Cav would definitely make her the best player in that match. I suppose you've really got to split it between Hercule and Havran for the way they rebuilt and kept coming and kept chipping away at the weaker parts of Team 2 until that weakness was fully exposed. So tactically and combat-wise, you've got to give it to both of them. But I think a lesser player than Catherine, that match would have been over 25 minutes, I think. So almost single-handedly turned the match around. The one problem is not one of those teammates. I suppose PTD made a play for the middle, but eventually was forced back and was never quite strong again. I was quite impressed with PTD's early play, but they needed that third teammate to step up with siege and with numbers, and it was never coming. So they were caught short. It was effectively it was 4 versus 2.5 maybe, in terms of if you're going to balance it out. But teamwork won the day. Congratulations to Team 1. Big thanks to Catherine, aka Ekaterina, for submitting that game and submitting a game where she was on the losing side. That's very humble. It just goes to prove that a good game is a good game, and even if you're on the losing side, if you play a blinder like she did in that one anyway, the only problem as far as she's concerned was the result didn't go her way, but the performance was absolutely brilliant, and it was a great game. I really enjoyed that one. Congratulations to Team 1. Thanks again to Catherine. Commiserations to Team 2. Better luck next time. Difficult map. I hope you enjoyed that game. I know I said this last week, there will be some midweek games coming up. Again, time got the better of me. We're just winding down for the holiday break now. The midweek, I think there could even be a double match this coming Wednesday if you're watching this on the Sunday. So this following week, there could be a double game. And there are some massive, massive things going to happen over the Christmas holidays in terms of the output on the channel. And possibly a couple more of our live recording games. So going to get a long break for Christmas, and I am going to dedicate quite a bit of it to 0 AD Newbie Rush, so you will see lots and lots of content. I hope you enjoyed that match. Do let me know in the comments. Do all the usual YouTubey stuff. We're up to about 518 subscribers now, so we are flying. Would love to get to the 1,000 at some point during the course of the next year. I think we're on track for that. I would hope it wouldn't take the whole year to do it, because it's taken us a year and a half to get to 500, but momentum is building. We've also got the possibility, maybe I'm hearing things about Alpha 26 being released some point early in 2022. That timescale may slip, but there's a lot to look forward to in 0 AD, and hopefully a lot more games kind of like this one. But that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave a comment, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon to be notified of future episodes. If you'd like one of your matches featured on the show, see the video description of how you can submit your replays. And if you can't wait for the next episode, then why not check out these playlists in the end titles for more replays, commentary and tutorials on 0 AD Newbie Rush. I'll see you in the next video.